It's a beautiful Wednesday morning, and I want to just welcome everyone here this morning on behalf of the organizing committee. What we're here this morning to do is going to be brief, it's going to be short, and it's also going to be impactful. So we'll look at a whole lot of things in the past. We'll try to illustrate how we could help this nation as young people, as entrepreneurs, as business leaders, and we come to a point that everything boils down to leadership. So this morning, the essence of this gathering is for us to illustrate a leadership model. Whether you're in politics, whether you're in government, whether you're in business, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a family man, how we could lead. So I want you to have an open mind this morning. It's going to be a quick, straightforward conversation, and in this 1 hour, we are done. So I welcome you on behalf of our partners, on behalf of the group McCoy Consult, and our supporting partners like ADC and St. Place Awards. And like I said, I want you to have an open mind this morning. It's not something big. It's something that at the end of the day, you'll be so glad that you're here this morning. A round of applause for me, if you So, to take us on this next journey is Mr. Anthony Etim. Mr. Anthony Etim flew all the way outside Nigeria to be here this morning. So, he's taking us on a brief practical sections on leadership. Let's appreciate him as he comes forward.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I hope we are doing good. Apologies, let me fix this. I bet you won't waste your time today. Somebody may be thinking, why am I here? I was expecting to see maybe one grey old man who is supposed to come and start giving us words of wisdom from the 19th centuries. But I'm here to give you contemporary advisories and contemporary steps on how we can become the leader or the leaders we hope to see, beginning from where we are. In your place of work, in your companies, and the big picture of Nigeria as a whole. In 2009 to 2015, I was in Maiduguri as the military was making advancements, opening new locations. I was there. You can talk about Dikwa, you can talk about Goza, you can talk about Biu, all of that. I was there during the journey. Then I moved to a country called Myanmar. Myanmar is a country that is popularly known for the Rohingya crisis, where over 1 million people were chased out of their ancestral home to a neighboring country called Cox's Bazar. Most of them drowned in the sea. And as we speak today, it's still a fragile state. I moved from there to Sudan, where also there's decades of political crisis. And I'm coming from Somalia as we speak, from the fragile state. So my background, why I'm saying this is to let you know that I've traversed these countries, and one of the key problems is failure in leadership. To also make you understand why this meeting is critical and important is to let you know that in Africa, if Nigeria as a country gets it right, I bet you 80% of leadership problem in Africa will be sorted out. But unfortunately, the journey of leadership in Nigeria is a big question. That is why we are here. So, I have a question before we start going to our course today. Is APC the problem of Nigeria? I just want you to enjoy this session. So we're going to take rounds. You can raise up your hand, but if you do not raise up your hand, there's somebody behind.
For me personally, I don't think APC is the problem of Nigeria.
Thank you.
Good morning once again. Like I said, my name is also important, and I'm a politician per se, because I'm the deputy national leader of a political party. So my direct answer to this question is that APC is part of the problems of Nigeria. They gave us fake promises. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is that you see that APC is not the problem of Nigeria, and I beg to tell you the problem of Nigeria is a lack of people with integrity. That's number one, and number two, fielding people with the wrong capacity at all levels. There are more analysis associated to the problem of Nigeria, because the people you all see in APC today, majority of them were in PDP. Majority of them came from different political parties to form APC. APC is a conglomerate of some parties that came together to push out PDP from power. But the gist is a problem of integrity. You can start breaking down integrity to various levels. Integrity in terms of trust, like my friend Audi said, that APC did not fulfill their campaign promises. It's a matter of issue of trust. And we are not talking about political party alone here. We're talking about leadership at all levels. You begin to see, let's pick out the police. The police is supposed to be your friend, right? But immediately they escort you to the police station, you're very sure you're going to pay a fee for something. They call it bail. But constitutionally, you're not supposed to. It's at all levels. Then also, another issue is about fielding the wrong people at all levels. You begin to see, even in the bank, you see somebody who read chemistry is the branch manager. You go to schools, you see people who are not qualified teaching the next generation on how to drive our country. So it's about integrity is one of the issues, and also fielding the wrong people in the wrong place. And I would like us to really know that why we are here today is to open our mind to prepare us to become the next generation leaders. As I bet you, it's going to be a huge struggle. If all of us now buy a form to fill from president down to the senatorial road, it's going to be a big struggle. Because those people who are in power right now have been preparing. So what we want to do is to also prepare you. If you're a banker, how do you become a bank branch manager? How do you become a leader within your space? If you're a fashion designer, how do you become a leader in the fashion world? So all of these things feeds together to form the holistic leadership problem of Nigeria that is going to affect Africa in the long run. I'd like you to know all of us are involved in the close captains of industries. People managing systems and businesses is a leadership problem, because for anybody to lead the country, it means every stakeholder contributed to that process. We cannot talk about INEC, police, the army. They play a huge role to leadership problem in Nigeria. And who are those people in INEC? It's my brother, it's your sister, and our friends. We also have people in religious leaders playing critical role in leadership in this country. The next, also go down. The communication people, they call them the fourth order of the realm. They play a big role in pushing leadership in this country. And we have traditional leaders. They also play a big role in that leadership system. Then lastly, you and I. You and I are the big problem, because we reflect Nigeria today. Whatever you see in our leadership system is because you and I accepted it, either covertly or overtly. A lot of people decide to play neutral, and that's why we are here today. But the big question is, this program is aimed at designing those practical steps that we need to take. Either you're in business or you're in politics, what we need to do to become the right leader. Then, before taking a leadership position. You don't take up a leadership position and want to be a right leader. It will not work. So you become prepared to become a leader before you take leadership position. Permit me to take you back to where we began before this new administration. The administration took the first 4 years blaming PDP for being in power. But you've taken the power. You should drive. So this is what we want to do here today. Ensure that before you take power, be prepared for it. Have integrity. And ensure that you have the capacity. Please don't be proud that it's my turn, I want to be there. And do you have the capacity? It doesn't matter if you're manning the gates of a company. It doesn't matter where you are. But ensure that you have the capacity and you have the right integrity. To identify or to become a leader, you need to have clear purpose and vision. And to be able to have clear purpose and vision, the first question you need to ask yourself is why? Why do I necessarily want to be the pastor of a church? Why do I necessarily want to be the CEO of a fashion brand? Why do I want to be the branch manager of a bank? If the purpose is to what? Fuel your ego, or if the purpose is about power, the question is good. It's good. If it's about money, I want to make money, and the way I can make money is to become a leader. It's good, but are you doing it ethically? That is why we are here, to better prepare you to become a leader in the family, or in your career space, or in politics today. Once you've asked yourself why, then it helps you have clarity as to how you want to take that journey. By what? Creating a vision. Please ask yourself why. Then, before you create a vision. We are going to discuss what visions is in the course of this training. It's a full package. So as a leader, or a prospective leader, you need to understand these key things I've mentioned. What inspires you? What drives you? And what grounds you as a person? Because all of these things shapes your integrity as a person, also helps you understand your capacity. Because if you know that you are not supposed to come lie that you are a very smart financial analyst, or you are great in making amazing clothes, when you come and lie to somebody and the person gives you their clothes to make for them and you ruin it, integrity is at stake. That's the truth. And some people, when they've done something wrong to you, they bully you on top of it. So this is why we're here today, is to be able to help us shape all of that. Integrity, service, and justice. Integrity helps you say what you are, your boundaries, and what you can do. Using APC as an example, which is something that interests everybody. APC said they are going to make naira, 1 naira to become $1. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
But they helped us to move it towards 1,500 plus. You understand? So it's a question of integrity. And they've not come to clearly explain why that has happened. Then talk about service. Service is demand, supply. When you are unable to fulfill the demands of the people, then you have breached that core values associated with your purpose. Then last is justice. Justice is about you order, you get what you order. Example, we ordered for a president that will help make life better as compared to the last administration, but we made it worse. So there is no justice. People came out to demand for justice and they were shot at. So that also impacted the values or the purpose of the current administration as we speak today. Why do we have this written down? It's for you to begin to ask yourself. We are not here to talk about APC or the political leaders. We are talking about you, because we want you to become the leader we want to see come 2027 or come December when your company is doing the next promotion, or in your family. We want to see this play out, because at the end of the day, cumulatively, it helps us make decisions in leadership at all levels. Yeah, sure. Having said all of this, we need to start having a picture of the future we hope to see in our own personal life. Example, I know one day I may either become a political strategist to help field one of you into a political position, because that is why we are committed in doing this. We want to ensure that we support those people who have been consistent here in either mentoring people to take career positions in the organizations or taking political positions come 2027. So we prepare you between now and then. So when I am picturing my leadership goal, I'm putting this into perspective. So I also need you to start thinking, how do I become a great leader? How do I become the next leader in fashion design, or leader in food production or food supply in Nigeria, or a leader in my local church, or leader in the business I'm doing? So these are the things you need to have in mind. You need to visualize the future you want to create, rooted in the values we've talked about, and it needs to be clear and inspiring to you. If it does not inspire you, I bet you it will never work. Next slide, please. As you do this, you need to start aligning yourself to constituents. By constituents, we mean building partnership, building relations. There are people who are the building blocks to your leadership vision or your leadership goal. You need to start building those alliances. And how do you do that? As we are here, it means actively listening. As we speak today, if a policeman stops you on the way, he's not listening to you. He's thinking about what he wants to get from you. But if you want to be the best police officer, you need to start learning how to listen to people. I'm not sure if our current political leaders today listen to people. I'm not sure if they do. But if you want to be the leader, even in your banking hall, you need to start learning to listen to people. You need to start creating shared ownership of power, because leadership is about power. But you need to understand that that power is shared. How do you understand shared power? Is your ability to know that as a leader, you're supposed to guide while other people execute. You can't be a leader, you're guiding, you're executing, and you're driving everything. So you need to understand it's a shared ownership. Nigeria belongs to all of us. But as you speak, does Nigeria belong to all of us? This is a question you need to start understanding. I may not be the one making the decision, you may not be the one making the decision, but you represent a fraction of what makes Nigeria great. Next slide. So, before the end of this session, this is what I want us to do. We are going to write a vision statement for ourselves. And we are going to write a 5-year goal plan for ourselves. So that when you walk out of here, if you decide that you want to be a leader in fashion design, the question is, what do you need to do? If you want to be a political leader, your vision should not end in 2027. Your vision needs to be beyond 2027. So you need to clearly write that vision down. I'll take us to what an example of what I've created that will help shape that plan. So this is what I did, for example, using a political statement, so that it helps you craft your own vision. So for me, the first thing I need to do is to define my political identity. But to be able to define my political identity, I need to have a vision. And my vision is to be a transformative and accessible legislator who represents the people of my constituency with integrity, vision, and purpose. And I'm able to enact policies that improve lives, empower youth, promote good governance, and ensure inclusive development in Akwa Ibom State. This is an example of a vision I crafted for myself. And how am I going to do this? I'm going to ensure that it's guided by integrity, community service, youth empowerment, accountability, and inclusive development. This is an example. And my vision is my guiding star. And my core values are the foundation upon which I build my campaign. So my campaign does not begins from when I start buying a form, but it begins from how I live my life, how I demonstrate those capacities within myself in my daily living. Integrity will be my hallmark, ensuring that every action I take is ethical and transparent. I am committed to serving my community, empowering our youth, and ensuring accountability in governance. My commitment is to provide inclusive development to ensure that no one is left behind. By staying true to these values, I will earn the trust and support of the people of Akwa Ibom. So this is how I've shaped my vision if I'm to go into what? Politics. But example, if you're a banker, you want to be a leader in banking, your vision will be totally different from this. It will be, example, I need to be what? Accountable. I need to be what? Visionary in helping people becoming financially what? Independent. And how am I going to do that? Through integrity, through selfless service to people. But guess what? When you do all of this, it rewards you as a person, both financially, both in terms of power and influence. So do not, whatever you give, you get that in return. So that is what we'd like us to focus on in this journey. Please, next slide. Then, if you need to build your vision, it needs to be practical. Like defining your political identity. You need to choose a political party you need to belong to that aligns to your vision. I cannot wake up today and say I want to join APC, even if APC has all the power to make me become a leader. Because I know if I become a leader under APC, I will still have to dance to whatever tune they are playing. So I need to define what political party, the political party I want to join, and how I want to be part of that. I need to study my constituency needs. I was talking about the people of Akwa Ibom State, how I'm going to support them. How will I support them if I don't know what their challenges are? So I need to conduct a good research. I need to go there and see what is impacting the people. I need to engage the community. I will not come and sit down here and determine what, because they need food. I will now sit down here and say, okay, the best thing to do is to go and be importing food for them. I need to engage them and ask them, how do we together find a strategy for food production? Then, build party relationships. The practical truth about political party is about partnership and relationships. Example, if I'm a member of APC today and a card carrying member, and for any reason the chairman of the party feels I'm a loyal person, he can just speak to the president that I should be given an appointment to do something. So you need to have that at the back of your mind, that you need to start building party relations. Next slide, please. Another practical step I'll be taking is to ensure that I have my campaign team in place. I ensure I develop a manifesto or a mantra. I will not use the Emilocom mantra. You understand? I will find a very suitable mantra. I used to like that Obama's mantra. Yes, we can. You understand? And throughout that, you begin to see, yes, we can. Yes, we can. You need to also launch a social media page because you're trying to influence people. Next slide, please. I need to have a plan of my campaign. What do I need to do? I need to declare my candidacy in the political party where I belong. If you were in the last session before this meeting, we talked about your ability to make your intentions known immediately you join a political party, so that they know that this man is prepared for what he wants. If you are in an office, example, in a career space, it's a bit different. You don't come and say you want to be the CEO of the company. You serve and work your way all through. I hope I'm clear, because I'm trying to help us understand that the leadership journey is, the strategy are different depending on where you belong. Even in politics, you need to be forthright with. You need to communicate what your plans are. But if you are in the career sector, it's a matter of competence, it's a matter of service and loyalty. Once you play out these, it helps your career journey. Next slide, please. Then you need to start building an action plan around your leadership journey by finalizing how your process of campaign is going to be, working out with your team, launching your digital presence, your grassroots mobilization, how you want to engage with them, building that trust with your team, and ensuring that all you're doing have impact at the community level. The last slide is about budgeting. You need to have a budget in mind if you're in politics. But if you're in the career sector, it's investment in your capacities. I repeat, if you are in politics, you need to start thinking about the budget. But if you are in career, investing in your capacities. The last slide. The key takeaway is that vision-driven leadership is based on your purpose that feeds into your vision and taking those practical steps in pursuing them daily. And you must understand it's driven by core values. And those values I've made it clear here is about integrity, justice, and service. I hope this is clear. It's now the time for questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. But I think this is an opportunity for me to also let out some questions that have been bothering me, whether directly relating to your presentation or not. Please help me out. And the first one is, I agree with you that our leadership recruitment process in Nigeria is faulty. And seeing your vision is very wonderful. But the Akwa Ibom state that I know is just like every other state in Nigeria. They are afraid of smart people. So whether you want to join APC, I don't know. But another question is if the APC will accept you, because you are too good for them. And that is where my question comes from. How do we get over this, those in power trying to recruit their likes to replace them? Once they see that you're smart, you know what to do and you are to do the right, you can be with them 10 years, you will not get any reward. But once they identify you as a dummy, and you are to pick the baton and run from where they stopped, there is no position they can't lift you to. How do we, on the other divide, now break into that barrier? That is one. Secondly, in our country, poverty has been weaponized. Political positions have been commoditized. The entire process has been monetized. Now, without stealing, how do we break that barrier? Because, for instance, I'm a consultant. There is no amount that I will be paid in the Nigeria that we know today that I will be able to save up 50 million from now till election time to contest for even state assembly. So how do we then break that monetization of our process, such that those that have values, those that have vision, those that have something to offer, even if they don't have enough money to pursue it, will still be able to vie for positions and win? Thank you.
Your first question is easy. Nigeria today is seeking for alternative. And if you have ever wanted to be a political leader, 2027 is your best bet. And don't join APC. Because the best litmus test happened in the last election. People who were not prepared and who joined Labour Party, today we have evidence of them in leadership, both in the House of Rep and in other fields. So it's a clear example of what is going to happen in 2027. It's a unique opportunity. So that answers your first question, because people are tired. Literally, people are tired. But I'm not saying join Labour Party. I'm saying join a political party within your locality that you have influence, or you can build alignment. That's why I was talking about alignment with your constituency and partnership. If you are great, the members of the political party within your constituency cannot be more than 1,000. But having grown up from your constituency, you have people who have people who have people that you can influence. They know you have integrity. They know you have people at heart. In 2027, they are looking for such kind of people. But if you are not that person, I'm sorry to say it's going to be difficult. But you have the chance from now to start demonstrating capacity and integrity. That's why we are here today. We are looking for a credible alternative. Don't jump into leadership if you do not have these underlying values. Build them, then it's easier. That's your first answer to your first question. The second and the third question is the most difficult part of the whole ball game. I'll come to career, but let me deal with the political side. How do you raise resources? On an average, depending on the political party you are, the forms will range from between 500 to 5 million, depending on the position. But at our level, I will encourage us to start from the lowest up to the State House of Representatives. That is what I would encourage, because it's more practical right now for 2027. Because it will take lesser resources. And we can commit to be able to provide that strategic advisory for that process. So between now and 2027, you can be able to practically raise resources between now to 2027 for taking positions from up to State House of Assembly. Then the question of how do you now go above the monetization system, which is the biggest problem. Now, that is why we are here. It's a 12-month series, and this question will be feeding into our 6th session, but I'll just give you an highlight. Between now and the end of 2026, there are key important things you need to do. First, you need to have identified the political party. Now, strategically, I won't advise you to go for APC or Labour Party, because you don't even know where Obi is going to fall into. Okay? But for now, begin to define your own value in your own space. You can decide to choose any small party in your locality where you belong and start building that influence. By the end of 2026, whoever we see is going to be the flag bearer, a presidential flag bearer, and belongs to a political party. At that point, by the end of 2026 or mid-2026, we will now advise you to cross carpet into that person's party structure, because you feed into it and it feeds into you. That's number one. Resources will now be what? Aligned in terms of influence, because he will be the one to print all the political flyers for his campaign. But in your own constituency, you will be able to print little and it will make influence. That's number one. Number two, you need to start building friends. Be a good person. If you were in our last meeting, we taught everybody how to be good. You see somebody who just fell down, say sorry. You don't need to take the person to the pharmacy. Just your ability to say sorry. Are you okay? You start building those relationships. In your local assembly or in your mosques, be friends to people. Don't be the person that after they finish praying in the mosque, you just jive. You are the one that's very proud. You don't even engage with people. People are doing birthday party. Go there, buy small gift and give. Don't do this because of your position, but still do it because of your position. Do it because you're a good person, because of the core values we are teaching here. And if you're a business person, don't always surcharge people. Remember I said it is you and I that is the problem of our country today. You see somebody doing bad, you never say, oh, what you've done is wrong. You look at how is your benefit to whatever he has done. All of these things are things we need you to put in place. Then lastly, it's about the big picture vision. What do you want to do for your people? If you do not have that answer, please don't take leadership position. Otherwise, you will repeat the same mistake APCs is having for the past 10 years now. Because they were not prepared. They were only prepared to take out the government. They were only prepared to lead Nigeria to where we want to be. And that's not what we want you to be. We are not making these investments just to come and incite you, inspire you. We want you to take up those positions and change the country we want you to be. Then let me flip it to the career side. In your space, because we have more bankers here, you want to be a branch manager, and you've not taken courses. Please, just be the best analyst and guru in your branch. That's number one. Number two, relationships. The easiest way to be a bank manager is how much you have in your portfolio. You will see in a space like this, there's a meeting, you would come and say hello to the convener. And you may not know if the convener is banking billions in his account. You just neglect people. Begin to build those relationships. There is no way you are commanding billions in your portfolio, and when it's time to select a branch manager, that you won't be considered. It's a fact. Then lastly, relationships within your branch, even up to the regional. At the end of the day, these are the key indicators for you to become a leader in, example, the bank. Chief, I hope your question has been answered.
Can I make a contribution towards the question?
Okay, please. Then take your question. I have just 2 more minutes to end this session. Please.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. All right. Just to add to what you said, sir. Most times when we want to talk about leadership, some of us are only looking at the APES, the highest level of leadership. Talking about political leadership, like someone who wants to go to House of Assembly or the House of Rep or any other political position. I think you actually dealt with it when you were talking about making impact first in your locality. Someone who wants to go for House of Assembly, for instance, State House of Assembly, you have to start from your kindred. Yeah, before you get to your ward. Some of us are in Abuja. We are waiting for 2027 to come by. Then we want to now rush into a political party. But what impact have you made in your kindred? Do they know you? It's as simple as, have you gone to see the way leading to the stream of your village? It's as simple as going out, making some few impacts in the education system. Make sure that the people around you, the children in your locality, do they have the materials? You don't need to be a stranger before you go into any political party. I have a practical example. I know of a young man somewhere during last election. He contested under PDP and lost, but because of the impact he made, he went to an unknown party. In fact, 4 years before he contested for that election, this young man was organizing football competition, so he won the youth. So even when the big wigs were like, this one, forget about him, is that the voting population lies within the youth. They know their own. You don't need to be an outsider to go into politics. And I can bet you, in his state now, he's the third person, an unknown party. So it's not just about jumping, talking even about the funding. When this young man that I'm referring to, when he started his political journey, he didn't have enough. Some of us, I can remember I contributed 20,000 naira. You understand? But now, when the people saw his vision, it's not like this is a stranger coming to tell us what he would do. They supported him because of what he has done. It also reflects in our other career. You want to be a top manager, you start going to prayer house and be praying that they sack the manager. It doesn't work that way. What have you done? You have to walk your way through the floor before you get to the level you want to get. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So my closing remark is to let all of us know that it's a huge investment from us putting together this, and we want to appeal. If you want to see a better Nigeria, I've mentioned that it is all of us at all levels that contributes to it. You must commit to taking this seriously, and also continuing to come, because it's a building. We cannot just pour everything right now. It's a curriculum, so that you can actively become a leader in your space. Do what we are trying to do and participate and get involved. Bring your friends, because if your friends are not hearing what you are hearing, I bet you if they give them money, they are hungry, they will take it and they will do the wrong thing, and will continue to be where we are. So it's about making those impact and influencing the people where we are. I want to say thank you and have a beautiful day.
Okay, good morning everyone once more. Honorable Nkem, I think we should have what would I not call it, a mantra. Like when we say the Joseph, we should have something to respond with actually, because we are enlarging. So I don't know, maybe we'll work towards that. Like if I say the Josephs,
We shall emerge.
you see. Yeah, the emergence of the Joseph, please look into it. Okay, so please, I hope you enjoyed the session. A round of applause to Mr. Tony Etin, a great analyst. So thank you very much for that wonderful impartation. We appreciate you, sir. Okay, so at this juncture, we have one of our partners. We have goodwill message from one of our partners. The Josephs is going far and wide. So help me welcome the representative of African Democratic Party. Okay, African Democratic Congress, pardon me. All right, I'm calling on the person of Barrister Morris Ebam for
the Joseph.
The man.
The Joseph. So my name is Barrister Morris Orebam. So when Mr. Nkem, first of all, well done. I must really say, walking into the place, the ambience, intellectualism, it's the rise of intellectuals. It's time for us to take over innovatively, creatively, and above all, we have to have the fear of God in us. It's a call to service. It's a clarion call. Let's say you obey the clarion call. Arise to combat trod. So my name is Barrister Morris Orebam. I'm actually speaking on behalf of the African Democratic Congress, the ADC. I'm a product of the NSAS. I told myself that after the NSAS, I was not going to sit down and fold my hand, but I was going to get involved in the system. I'm part of it. From there, it emerged me. I'm a lawyer. I've always been. So first of all, let me take you about the journey of politics. All of us as young people, maybe Christians per se, let's all be intentional now. You understand? Let's be intentional right now. This is the rise of a new generation. So I don't know when I was supposed to give a good view. I said, damn, I would like to give a speech too. So, Joseph in the Bible, I woke up this morning and after I did all that thing, I was led by the Spirit to just go read about Joseph. Just go read about Joseph. Let me go back to go, because first of all, we are not like others. You understand? See, many will take the bus, but we must walk. That is just it. Many will take the bus. We must walk right now. For the fact that you have your eye here, you have that fire burning in your heart. God has called you for this time. It's not a mistake that we're in Abuja, the most populated black nation in the world, the capital of Nigeria. It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake that it's at this time. It's not a mistake that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. It's not a mistake. And I'll tell you why it's not a mistake. So, we all knew, you talked about, someone came, okay, yes sir, you talked about joining a political platform. It's very, very important. So 2023 changed the course of politics in Nigeria. And in those days, we will see people eating corn. When they eat corn, they will go and say, they will snap, they say, he's a very humble man. Their wife will go and fry akara. But 2023, we saw emergence of a word, go and verify. Go and verify. Go and verify. So it really pointed on my heart. So let's talk about, because see, I say something after God is government. He paid me so much for a very long time. Christians have shied away from leadership and governance. It's so, and God has given us a mantra, we should go and dominate. You see, first of all, who is Joseph? First of all, this is not just coming because yes, people here. We should go know that there's not a mistake that for a time we're having this particular meeting, and this is what we need. So we have the people that we are dealing with. We are dealing with those in the classroom and those on the streets. We need our brothers over there. Those ones are very, very important. They are not here wearing suit with us or sitting and listening to AC. No. They are on the street. Those guys where you go meet them. Politics is local. You go to your community and say, how far they will say, if you don't give me money, I don't go vote. I'm from Cross River State. I'm from a two local government. In fact, my community is made up of a lot of boys that now they cause wahala for election. My community is so small, but they fear also much because those boys when they take Otumako, when they take Juju, election will not be this thing where we do for you. Like you don't understand. I enjoy the grassroots, and I want to relate it back to the Bible. They say the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. I don't know why we are not getting it that this is a divine mandate. So let's talk about Joseph now because it's all encompassing. Joseph came out after he did all that thing, the dreams he gave, they call him the dreamer. His brother tried to motivate him here and there. He got down to Potiphar's house and God blessed him. So he found favor and mercy. So you should understand that. And let's not talk about just Joseph. Let us talk about his father, because an apple does not fall far from his tree. We should talk about Israel, Jacob himself, because Joseph did not fall from the sky. You understand? And he also followed that bloodline. Talk about their forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So now let's talk about the Christian brothers just finished their fast, and we know that we are brothers, Abrahamic religion, and the Christians are in the period of Easter coming very, very soon. It shows that they say Africa pray well. This prayer don't save Nigeria, because the thing where they happen for Nigeria, they happen for that country, they go down casa. It's mad. So I like when I talk the Buju way, I talk about the street way, because see, I went to UNN, and based on say, I experimented something in UNN. We have the confraternity boys. Those ones, if you don't go election, you need to go consult them. We get fellowship brethren. You need to go and consult those men too. So you understand, we have those in authority. It shows you that even as some, you are in the world, but you are not of the world. See, our biggest problem now is going to be vote buying and apathy in 2027 election. So there's a lot to say, and I tell you that the time has come. And I want to say on behalf of ADC, what is ADC? So you cannot see, in Nigeria, you cannot run as an independent candidate. You need to look for a party that aligns with your vision and mission, ideology. Our biggest problem, we don't have parties that are ideology. You talk about APC. APC just came from PDP, ABGA, CPC, ACN, and wanted to collect power. And now when they collected power, they don't know what they're using to do. And let's talk about the man Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because it's very, very important. In 1993, so sorry to say, but let me run off with this one. In 1993, MKW ran for election under SDP, and he ran against Atiku Abubakar. This is 2025. It's very, very important. I believe in something, the wisdom of the elders and the strength of the youth. Joseph was a young wise man. And we also have Methuselah too. So I'm very, very happy that ADC is here, and we are going to partner together. You understand? We are going to partner together, and we need young people that are passionate. The time has come, and we need to take the gospel out there. See, end of the day, see, let me tell you why you should be angry. When you add 4 years to your age, another 4 years to your age, that's 8 years. You understand that you're not getting any younger. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless APC.
Thank you very much, Barrister Morris.
You can see the passion, you can see the fire, you can see the flair. You know, but somebody, a round of applause for him. Thank you for the ginger. You know, thank you for coming from that angle. Some people will be asking, so are we all here just for politics? And some bankers be like, but we are not here for politics and all that. Please, Joseph's encompasses everything leadership. So it's whether political, whether entrepreneurial, whether you're in the service industry, in the entertainment industry, in your family. So it's not just about politics. A round of applause for all of us that are here. Okay, so without wasting much of our time, I want to make welcome the person, the vision bearer, the convener of this particular event. I want you to please put your hands together as I make welcome Honorable Nkem Okando as the industry's role of the process. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for clapping for me. Another round of applause for all the speakers. You know, I want to appreciate my good brother and friend and my younger brother Maurice Eba. You know, he has a lot of energy. And he's always fast to think. You see when he said to Joseph, he said we shall match. That's his kind of person. Let's appreciate him one more time. And Tony Etim, the first speaker. You know, one of the things about when you're the second speaker, you know, it's a tough thing to do. Because if the first speaker did very well, you don't even know what to do again. There is this story that was told about a child that wants to write Christian religious knowledge in secondary school, WAEC, and he had Expo. He had seen the Expo on the story about John, the disciple of Jesus. He was told that that's going to be that's the Expo for the CRUK. The CRUK is for WAEC now. So he got to the hall, and fortunately, unfortunately for him, they changed the question to write about our Lord Jesus Christ. So the Expo did not come out. But like a smart student, he now started with, who am I to write about my Lord Jesus Christ? I would rather write about John, one of his disciples. So at the end of the day, that was a very beautiful. Can we give another round of applause to him? It was a powerful presentation. I was so blessed. Because of our time, it's a breakfast session, and I will go straight to my own section, which is Joseph leadership, or the Joseph model of leadership. Now, the hostess, can you help me with your mic? Now, I will just take 1-2 questions from people. Okay, before I do that, it's also good that I come by way of introduction to a lot of people know me from different parts, different reasons. My name is Nkem Okando, and I don't know how to describe myself. I'm a salesperson. A lot of people know me as a salesperson. I'm into technology sales. I'm into investment marketing and sales, purely sales and partnership development. I'm also a politician, being that I'm currently the Deputy National Secretary of African Democratic Congress. I thought people would clap for me. And in 2018, 2019, I ran for State House of Assembly to represent my constituency in Bende South. Bende South is in Abia State. And unfortunately or fortunately for me, I lost. In fact, one of the things I've done in life is that I've tasted failure. I am yet to taste victory. Because even as a student, I contested for ACG president and I lost. I now came out again, ran for State Assembly, and I didn't win. So, but again, am I going to give up? You know, I don't want to be like, one of the things I told God, I don't want to be like Abraham Lincoln. They say he kept contesting and contesting. But I know that very soon, victory is sure. Why don't you appreciate me? So, we're going to, before we go to this now, I want to ask, you know, we talk about leadership. You know, in our last section, the first speaker who spoke talked about leadership not being positional, leadership not being a title. Now, I want to ask just one person who can tell us what is leadership? What do you understand as? Who is even a leader? Can just one person, who is a leader? I will take it from there. Anybody who is a leader? Ask by Esteban. Sorry. Don't talk more than 1 second.
Sorry. Service. Someone that serves.
Okay, leader is someone that serves.
Service.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
No, for me, I think a leader is someone that is able to move people from point A to point B. If there's no movement, there's no leadership actually.
Wow, can we appreciate them? Say somebody that moves somebody from, a lot of people are scared of, you came to an organization and you have leaders. Most people prefer, even as maybe you're a manager of your company, people prefer followers. Is that not correct? Because most people don't know how to lead leaders. That's a problem a lot of people have. You get to an organization, you find out that this is an organization that is made up of leaders. But because you are the, sometimes when they give you a position and a title, it means that you're a coordinating position. But people wouldn't want that, don't know how to manage those leaders within leadership. But they will prefer that you are more of followers and all that. So we're going to look at Joseph's model of leadership. Also, by way of introduction, like I said, I'm a politician. For people who know me, I'm also a salesperson. And in the last 10 years of my life, I'm also a pastor. I thought you guys would appreciate it. So I will try to bring an encompassing body. I understand a lot of people may not be Christians here. We're not trying to convert you, but we're just trying to use a principle that can actually work, whether you're a Christian, whether you are a pagan, whether you're a Muslim, no matter the device you belong to, that will help us. So the Joseph leadership model, we are going to look at how visionary and transformative it can help us as leaders to transform our society. The next slide. Now, what if your greatest setbacks? A lot of us have had setbacks in the past. There are things that you tried to do that didn't work. What if those setbacks were divine setups? Have you seen somebody that lost a job before? It's a setback.
Yeah.
What if somebody fails a promotion exam or even an exam? It's a setback. It means you're going to repeat. So what if your greatest setbacks were divine setup for leadership? Maybe your setbacks are a kind of a stepping stone that God wants to use to promote you. It could be for leadership, it could be for breakthrough, impact, and all that. Now, Joseph's journey wasn't a coincidence, but it's just a blueprint. Now, if I want to talk about Joseph, thank you, Pastor Maurice, for giving us an intro into the life of Joseph. If you see Joseph, one, he was a favored son, very favored by the father. For some of us who have read that story in the Bible. Now, the father favored him, the brothers got jealous, and the first place they put him out of jealousy is in a pit. From the pit, they said this guy being in a pit will also make so much sense. They took him into slavery. Let's sell this guy. Imagine the man Joseph. That's how his journey came about. Now, from slavery, even in the slavery where he was even serving diligently, it wasn't even enough. He was wrongly accused and they put him in prison. And from prison, God made him to also come, there's a place, when I served in Sokoto State, and it was a very big village. And one of the things that we used to console ourselves, when you serve in a village is that, we say that it is well, even inside well. Because we found out that we were actually in a deep well. So every time we talk to each other, it was like, it is well, even inside well. So even in the prison, in the well, in slavery, even in prison, even in the pit, these are the journey of Joseph until God brought him to the palace. So in these few minutes, like this is a breakfast section, we don't intend to take our time. We're going to talk about things that can help business executives like most of us here, policy makers, and also political aspirants and those who are already in leadership. Please permit me to also appreciate the youth leader of my party who is also here in the person of Honorable Hawa Yusuf. I think that is just great to have our powerful youth leader from ADC. Okay, thank you. The next slide. Now, one of the models that has helped Joseph, Mr. Tony talks about vision. 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 Now, every vision starts with a dream. Every vision starts with a dream. No wonder the Bible said in Genesis 37 verse 5, it said, then Joseph had a dream. So you cannot have a vision until you dream about it. Now, what is even vision? What is vision? Because, you know, vision, if I define it on my own, I would say it is a picture of your preferred future. Vision is a reality that is not seen now, but in your inner mind, you're seeing it. It is where you long to go, and you're already going there. And vision and leadership means that as a leader, there is need for you to have vision. And even not for being in leadership position, we should not aspire to be in one form of leadership or the other. In fact, everybody is a leader. Because even if you're not leading anybody, you're leading yourself. And if you're a woman or a man, you end up leading your family. Even if you're not a man, even as a woman, you also lead your home. So we are all leading. Thank God we have business people here. We have people who work in the bank. I spent almost 4 years of my life working as a customer service officer in UBA. So I understand that background too. Sometimes some of the things we do are processes to where God wants to take us to. So it is important that you have your vision. Now, great leaders see the future before others do. So sometimes we also have clergymen here. You want to pastor a church or something. Maybe the church is just 10 persons, but you're already seeing crowd. You want to start a company. The company is just starting with 2 staff. It could even be only you. You're struggling, but you know where you're going, that this is going to be the biggest fashion world. If you believe it, can I say amen? Amen. Sorry, you know, I say I'm a pastor too, and this, I will just combine it. So one of the lessons we see here is you must have a vision that is bigger than you. Now, let me tell you something. The first time I posted this program, I just designed a flyer, but something unique happened. I posted the flyer. The first person that called me was Mr. Tony, and he was not even in Nigeria. He said, I will be part of this project. So the vision you have is not, in fact, if you have a vision that it is only you that will accomplish it, it means that it's a dead vision. Because there are people, there are processes, and once God gives you that vision, He also brings in people who accomplish it. So you must have a vision that is bigger than you. And again, one that outlives seasons and challenges. Your vision will not be something that today you drop it because of challenges, because, oh, this season is tough. So a Joseph model of leadership is a leadership model that expects us to be visionaries, people who see the future. The next slide, please. Now, another aspect that will help you in this model of leadership is adversity and betrayal. You know, these are the things that have shaped the life of men, that have shaped the life of successful women. Now, look at the case of Joseph. From jealousy of his siblings to being sold into slavery, and even in the slavery, doing judiciously well, he was also wrongly accused again. So adversity and betrayal are part of the things that will shape you in your journey of leadership. Now, one key lesson I want us to take from here is, in all that you do, don't give up. There is a match that was played. I support Liverpool as a fan. There was a time we played Barcelona some years ago, and they won us, I think, 3-0 in their home. And it was as if all hope is lost. But when they get to Anfield, which is our own stadium, in fact, during that match, most of our key players were injured. There was no Mo Salah. Most of our major players were not. It was just a free players. But you know, at the end of the day, Liverpool came out victorious, and we won 4-0. There was something Mo Salah, who didn't play, had in his shirt. He showed never give up. So no matter the betrayals, no matter the adversity you have, the key thing is what? Never give up. Can we say it? Never give up. So as Joseph, betrayal, all the things that happened to him did not break his spirit. So these are the things like resilience enables you to try through trials. As human beings, you pass through trials, you pass through temptation, even in your work. But at the end of the day, it is preparing you for something big. So look at the case of Joseph. He thrived everywhere, even in the pit. Even in that same pit, he thrived. At Potiphar's house, He tried. Even in the prison, the man that was interpreting dreams, even in the prison, he was interpreting dreams and even right to the palace. So, growth through adversity is part of the journey. It is part of the journey. It could be part of the journey in business. Your business is not working well, or in career. You've not, in fact, you've been as a frontline staff all your life, and you're asking yourself, when next am I going to get there? So, growth through adversity is part of the journey. Next slide. Now, another thing that Mr. Tony talked about is integrity, character, when he was speaking. Integrity. Look at what Genesis 9 says. How then could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God? That was when Joseph was tempted by Potiphar's wife. He said, how then could I do such a wicked thing? That means there are some things that are wicked. How then could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God? Corruption. It is wickedness for you to be a leader and you are given a contract to do a road, and you know that this road is supposed to cost you so and so amount for you to last for a period of 10 years, a 20 years period, or you just do a shabby job and you get personal gain. Like we said, when the first speaker talked, he said the problem is you and I. It means that the problem is not APC, the problem is not PDP, the problem is not even the political leaders, it is us. Joseph refused to compromise, show moral courage. So, integrity is something that we do in all circumstances. Now, there was something I wrote here that said, character protected his calling. I mean, Joseph had a calling. Remember when Joseph said, I had a dream? He told his brothers, what was his dream? It was a dream of leadership. Now, but if he had failed here with the wife of Potiphar, do you know they would have promoted him in Potiphar's house? But what would have been the promotion? Maybe the CEO of Potiphar's house, or chief servant of Potiphar's house, because that's the only promotion he can get. Or if we want to make it look very well, can we put it like to write you people that what's it called, corporate people? How they put it? Which one is the? I don't want to. Potiphar is the CEO.
Executive assistant.
COO. COO. That's what that would have been the biggest position that Joseph would have attained by this. But see, his character, there is a calling God called him, but it was his character that protected that calling because he refused to compromise. So one activity I want us to do this morning is, in your own time, can you identify your own core values? Are there things that are a no-no for you that people can say, if it comes to this one, this is a no-go area for this guy? Is this something you can identify your core values and create what I call an integrity statement? This is my integrity statement. These are the do's and don'ts that in fact, if it is in business, people will know you for this. The next slide, please. Now, excellence in service. Leading with humility and excellence is more. Okay, if you go through throughout Joseph's journey from the pit to when he got into slavery. Now, in slavery, he was in Potiphar's house. Do you know that even in that Potiphar's house, he was not the first person to join as a slave, but he became a leader. Through what? Service. And where I come from, my church, we used to say service is the pathway for honor. If you want honor, service. Even Jesus told, when they met Jesus, sorry, I'm not preaching. When they came to Jesus, disciples, they told him something. They said, because they were trying to make who will be a leader. They said, sir, please, you are the master. We don't want to contend with your position. But within us here, how can somebody become a leader? You know, say, if you want to be a leader, serve. And that's where we have that word, servant leadership. So Joseph prospered because he served diligently. And leadership starts with serving others exceptionally. Now, no matter where you work, whether it's in corporate organization, whether it's even in your community, excellence will earn you visibility and even promotion. So, action step you need to take is identify one area to elevate your standard of service. If there's an area of your life, you need to identify one area of your life to elevate your standard of service. The next slide. Now, another thing when it comes to this journey is, it is important that you need to know God's timing. Trust God's timing. Trust God's timing. You know, sometimes You know, it's even God that set the clock. It's not us. So you need to learn to trust God's timing in your process. Learn to trust God's timing in your journey. All you need is patience. All you need is faith in the process. Now, Joseph had a dream at 17. Do you know it took him 13 years before the dream materialized? So Joseph waited years without giving up. So timing is crucial in leadership journey. When it comes to leadership, you cannot just join a bank today as a entry-level person. The next day you become the MD. There is process. There is even Bible says time and seasons shall not cease. So patience, not just maturity and wisdom. So the action step you need to take, we need to set long-term goals and trust the growth process. Whatever you want to become a brand manager, you want to become a political leader, set long-term goals and trust the growth process. The next slide, please. So it's important that you trust God's timing and also be patient. The Bible said again that He makes all things beautiful in His time. So far, does anybody has any question, or should we continue? We just have 10 more minutes and we're done with this session. I'll go for breakfast. Just proceed. Now, another thing that helps us in this model is solution and wisdom. Look at in Genesis 41, verse 38. The Bible says, can we find anyone like this man? Can we find anyone like this man? One in whom is the Spirit of God. Now, dream interpretation and strategic economic plan are the key things that Joseph used. Now, Joseph's insight was what saved the nation. It's not just Egypt. Now, when you talk about solution, I wouldn't want to dwell more here because I have another slide I wanted to quickly talk on this same solution and wisdom. Now, when it comes to leadership, it's about influence. So it's not just in titles, but in providing solutions that help others. So leaders are custodians of people and resources. So as a steward, you are a custodian of people and resources. And a steward, sometimes you're not even the owner. That's why, in fact, the best word to describe stewardship is a manager. Even a manager of Alpha Morgan Bank. Alpha Morgan Bank, you are here, right? The manager of Alpha Morgan Bank is not the owner of the bank. He's just a steward. He's just a manager. That means there are people who have these resources. So, but you need to be faithful in the tasks you are giving. So, lesson we need to learn here is how you handle it determines how God will entrust much to you. If nobody can give you something big, if you're not able to manage the small one. The next slide. Purpose. Like Joseph said, for such a time as this. Look at what he told his brothers. He said, God sent me ahead of you to preserve. See, the brothers got to a point, they were thinking they were the people who did, some of the things we pass through in life, it's God's plan and purpose for our life. And that was why Joseph from the beginning understood that he has a purpose for his life. So most of those journeys are things that have brought him into prominence. And when the brothers came to him, he said, he understood that God is the one that sent him ahead of them to preserve life, to preserve nations. So his elevation was not for status, but for service. That's the purpose of leadership. Leadership is service. Now, if you look at Joseph's model, his leadership model was redemptive. Number one is to save, serve, and to preserve, where he preserved not just the life of the Egyptians or the life of the Israelites who are his brothers, but the life of many nations. So forgiveness is key to moving forward in destiny. So key lesson here is leadership is about fulfilling destiny, not occupying a position. Lesson 2 is that God uses adversity to position us for impact. Sometimes you want to make impact, you want to change the nation, you want to change your country, you want to change your community. Sometimes God uses adversity to position us for impact. The next slide. And I'll round up from here. Now, a Joseph leader is a visionary steward of purpose, shaped by adversity, led by integrity, and committed to solving problems for the greater good. Commitment to solving problems for the greater good. So this morning, our call to action is for us to embrace Joseph leadership model and become a leader of societal transformation. Now, look at what Joseph said, and I close with this. He said, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. There are several things that people would think that they are doing you bad, but God is the one orchestrating the plans and the purpose. In fact, I was in a bank in 2016. One of my managers then, I don't know her reason, I work in the headquarters then, and there's something, when they push you to places like Nyanya, now punishment. So she now moved me and did what she did, and they transferred me to Nyanya. And when I went to Nyanya, I was like, in fact, it's even closer to my house. So I was just telling her, one day she came to Nyanya to say, Nkemi, it's not how it is. I said, Madam, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. So there are things that happens in your life. It could be people may want to make you not to, I don't know what it could be. It could be position, it could be in your office, it could be in your business. They may think they are doing you bad, but it is something God is using to launch you to something great. So, but your attitude matters, how you perceive it. If you're someone who has a vision and know, hey, this one, they did it for me, they think they are doing me evil, they think they are trying to push you, but it is something that God has ordained, that it will be a stepping stone for your transformation. Thank you very much. God bless you. So before we end, I want to, if you have any question, at the moderator will go take it round. If you have questions and things you may need to ask, you can ask while we just have our breakfast before we depart.
Just the take home from this particular meeting. One of the things I've been able to grasp from here is that one of the keys to transforming Nigeria political space is inclusive government. Inclusive government. That has to do with being transparent, where people can be able to see what you are doing and can be able to bring whatever it is you are doing to the table. Just actually what caused a major revolution with the Obi movement, and all of that. And then secondly, Nigeria, another thing I picked is that Nigeria have gone through major, administrations. One is, I choose to call it the Red Ocean, administration, and we are yet to experience, and that is what we're trusting God to happen in 2027, the Blue Ocean strategy. The Red Ocean is where everybody is looking for what to get, is like big fish eating the other fishes and all of that. So but now the Blue Ocean has to do with where everybody can do something differently, uniquely to counter all of this or whatever. I don't need to, press you to rise. I can rise while you are rising and get the job done. That is the most important thing. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for me. Over time, I've heard people make reference to coming up with a national vision that trumps individual parties' vision. That's the only way that, say, PDP can come into power, right, and still follow along those paths as long as it's in line with the national vision of the country, right? But so far, I've not heard a pragmatic, realistic approach to creating that national vision. I mean, US has a national vision. Most developed countries have a national vision. That's the only way that a new party will come into position and will still continue along those lines. So to the first speaker, my question is, what's the most pragmatic, right, way that we could use to create a national vision for Nigeria?
You've asked a very difficult question because Nigeria is very culturally diversified, religiously diversified, rooted in a lot of different diverse political philosophies. And unfortunately, we are also as divided, as united as we are. That's how complex Nigeria is. We can have the Nigerian dream, that is the best I can call it, where every Nigerian sees himself as part of the big picture of the country. How that is going to be reflected is not going to be possible to bring everybody on the same table. But having men of integrity representing every constituent to a table, we had a national confab that came close to that, but it is possible. If we can have a situation where a national confab is put together again, but not a club of who knows who, but a situation that reflects the representation and participation of everyone. So this way, if an ethnic group have a representation of someone they trust, a minority group have a representation of who they trust, and they're all brought into one space, and those people define what the Nigerian dream will be. Everybody will subscribe. Just like what happened in the time of Abraham Lincoln, he did the same. It can happen in Nigeria. But at the end of the day, there's a big problem we have today. Poverty have made every Nigerian to pursue self-need. So, I wouldn't push to have that confab right now. I would push to have a situation where we deal with the crisis we are having as a country in the next 8 years. After that 8 years, we now have a Nigerian dream where people emerges from a place of capacity and a place of integrity. Otherwise, if you bring me right now to sit in that table with all my vision and integrity, I'll be talking from a perspective, and that will not capture maybe the vision of my even younger brother or elder brother. So that will be my response to your question. Thank you.
Lord, we ask that this word will not depart from our lives. It will yield increase in our lives in the name of Jesus. Amen. And the evidence shall continue in the name of Jesus. It will show even in our nation and even in our lives in the name of Jesus. As we go to our various places of work and even in our houses, oh God, we ask that you keep us safe from all evils in the name of Jesus. We thank you because you're God, for in Jesus' mighty name we pray.
All right, thank you. Please, the ladies, are they?
Maurice Ebam, I'm a lawyer, I'm a social advocate, I'm also a politician too. And so the rise of the Joseph is very timely. First of all, nothing can kill an idea which time has come. So I believe this is the best time for us to have it. So kudos to Mr. Nkemu Kando, the visionary of this project. So I think it's time we're coming from different stratas. You understand? We're coming from different strata. We have coming from law, from the advocacy part, from business part. We are all coming together from politics. We are all coming together. We need a new generation. We need that change. And the change must begin with us. So no one is coming to save us. And it's good that having intellectuals come together. Intellectuals must start coming together. We must start driving conversations. And this is also like our safe space too. This is that space we can come and be ourselves and impact our own self. And it's good that we're coming from different angles too, but so we come and impact our own self. This is that space that at least you're coming, you're not feeling shy, that you don't want to, that thing normally you would not, when you go to events that you don't want to say. This gives an opportunity to actually share your views.
Hi, my name is Anthony Etin. I'm a political analyst, a development expert, and part of the training team for the Rise of the Joseph Leadership Program. It's a 12-month course, and we have taken the first 2 sessions, and we have 10 more sessions to go. I want to use this opportunity to request that if you are an aspiring leader, you want to be a leader either in your field of endeavor or in the political space, please key into this opportunity, because it's going to give you the leverage, the partnership, the network, and also the strategical thinking towards becoming that leader.
The event went very well. It's a mixture of professionals, aspiring leaders, and policymakers. So it's something that went very well, and the expectation was met. In the next edition, the flyers will be out. I want to especially invite people to watch out our social media handles, to also look out for the Joseph. It's an emerging group of young men, young women who wants to make a difference, who want to make an impact in the society.